Hello, Randomizer fans, wherever you are, and welcome to some more main tournament action here on Speed Gaming Prime. My name is Tyler Salt here in the commentary booth. I am joined with Airshap. Airshap, how are you?
Tyler, I am so good. I've never been this good, ever.
I'd love to hear it. We are here for a round two matchup between willwc and Akaelyne. On the left and right sides of your screen, respectively. This is the losers bracket in Group G. And yeah, we're looking forward to a good show here.
Yeah, it's been a competitive group so far. So much like any of the other groups in this main tournament, just stacked full of quality runners. So this is the lower side of the bracket. With Will and Akaelyne, but yeah, no, it's gonna be good stuff.
And these guys started right on time, so we should be underway momentarily with this standard seed.
Yep, getting a sneak peek at our pink link and green link. Here we go. You usually want to avoid Caneburna from the uncle, which I suppose we did here.
Well, you know, I'll take it there anyway. That'd be better.
Yeah. So yeah, of course, it's a standard start. We're going to be going through the escape sequence. I caught one crystal at Eastern in that map check. I don't know if you saw the others, Tyler.
I didn't. I'm trying to get my mic level up. So we shall see here. From the uncle, we have 10 bombs.
10 bombs.
Classic.
Yeah, if you're a runner like me and not as good as these runners, the bomb start is very scary, but I know a lot of more skilled runners love the bomb start since it more or less guarantees you'll have a bomb once you get to the back of escape.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, if you've been around for a while, you know, this used to be something that a lot of people would practice back when standard mode was the mode, right? Before the development of open mode, you know, everybody did standard all the time, and so 10 bombs start was something that you had to do quite a bit. So definitely something that a lot of people who've been around for a while have practiced. That does not include me, by the way. I still find this pretty tricky, but we'll see. Our runners should be totally able to manage this.
Yeah, so watch closely. You'll see some cool setups for quick bomb kills, I'm sure, especially in these blue guards that take 2 hits. Or we'll just use the blue cane.
Yeah, blue cane works too. You gotta watch your magic with it, obviously, but you know, having blue cane and bombs is really nice. You can use the blue cane to help you maybe do the hardest kill on bombs, which is the key rat.
Yeah, the key rat is low-key the end boss of this dungeon. It can go anywhere.
Yep. Ooh, the sync is real. That's really nice.
Yeah, that's been the coolest thing about standard mode, or one of the cool things about standard mode in this tournament is just seeing the high level of execution on both sides, side by side, as we find a flute.
Ooh, that's nice to find. Akaelyne with a little bit quicker out of that room there with the Caneburna over the bombs. But that early flute, definitely nice to have. We get to zip all around high roll this seed.
Whenever you can find it before your trip to Kakariko, you're feeling very, very good. Both runners utilizing those pots.
Yeah, especially when you've got bombs or Cane of Burna, those pots are a good way to conserve bombs and conserve magic. So I certainly don't blame either of our runners for taking advantage of those against the ball and chain guard.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, as they work their way through here, we'll be looking at their clear time. You usually want to be looking at around the 6-minute mark. Curious what they'll end up with this sort of unconventional weapon setup with both bombs and Burna. We are not seeing too much barn farming as you would normally with other weapons here.
No, I don't
about
imagine that we'll see any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now it's shaping up to be maybe a little bit slower than that 6 minutes, which stands to reason with bombs and Cane of Burna for your items on the on an escape sequence.
Yeah, it's one of those things where experienced runners like to, compare their escape times relative to that 6-minute par, but ultimately in the course of a very long race, 10 seconds here or there in escape doesn't really matter too much.
No, certainly not between the two of them. I will say it is definitely nice to come out of escape with a good time. It's like, all right, my execution's on point today. That felt good. As we see a Moon Pearl in Dark Cross. Need that.
This has been a very stacked escape here so far. And here's the dreaded Key Rat. No problem on Akaelyne's side.
I don't think I've ever seen the Key Rat go that far to the right there that it did on Will's screen. Handled well.
Like I said, final boss.
Actually, it helped him pick up a little bit of time there, I think. So we get a big 20, some bombs, and a glove. Headed out of escape, we are already 2/3 of the way towards Dark World access.
Yep. Yeah, this could have been one of those dreaded scenarios in which the glove is in the back of escape, but luckily with that bomb start, both runners are able to pick theirs up.
Yep, and as we thought, just north of 6 minutes are both of our runners exiting the escape sequence, and we'll see what the rest of the seed has to offer us. The Kakariko starter pack there with the bottle and the flute come out of escape. You'll love to see it.
This feels so good before heading to Kakariko, both the flute and the bottle. They'll be able to check Sick Kid, they'll be able to activate that flute. And then hopefully we see a bit of divergence with where they choose to fly afterwards. I would anticipate a typical South Shore route from both runners, but some folks like to get desert out of the way too. We'll see.
Yeah, when I get early flute, I like to flute down to 6 after the after race game, just to get that out of the way. Check Agina real quick. Flute makes that much easier. Then you get flute to 7 and continue on with South Shore.
Yep. Just bombs on Lumberjack, so we might see Aga, but not for the Lumberjack prize.
Yeah, certainly not for that. Looking pretty unlikely, given already having that glove and Moon Pearl.
On life support, as chat often likes to say.
Cheers, by the way, to Sokol2044, who is our tracker for today, hitting the buttons behind the scenes so that we look smart. Thank you, Sokol.
Yeah, I can't stress how much work goes into these streams, both in tracking and on the restream. It's really great work all around, especially with the dozens and dozens of races happening right now.
Yeah, and we're just flapping our gums, right? We're not doing much that's actual work here. We're just talking about rando. So thanks very much to everybody else as we see a sword there in Blind's Hut.
Always nice to find early, of course. Another bottle. Yeah, that is sword one of a maximum of 3 that we'll be seeing today with the hard item pool. Y'all know that by now, right? So
Yeah,
3 swords, 3 swords.
Let's go over how hard item pool works, right? So you've got in the pool there are the normal 4 swords, there are the normal 2 bows, and there's one of them right there in the well. And the normal 2 male upgrades, the normal number of hearts. But with hard item pool, as every match in the main tournament is this time around, when you pick up the 4th sword, either male upgrade or the 2nd bow or hearts past 13 or 14, those turn into green 20 rupees. So if you see a green 20, you know that it's something that's been removed from the pool or it has transformed into that because it's something that the runners are not allowed to have.
That's right. Perfectly stated. As Will remembering to activate his flute. Akaelyne will be doing the same, I'm sure, in just a moment.
To remember to do that.
I usually forget, but that's why I'm not playing today.
Yeah, just to confirm, that is 2 regular crystals at Eastern and Desert and a 5/6 crystal at Tower of Hera. Love to see 3 crystals in the light world.
Could be the makings of a very fast seed, or the makings of having to dip into very long Dark World pendant dungeons. We will see.
And willkommen to our raiders coming in from SpeedGaming Deutsch. Thanks for joining us.
So just a few more.
Chicken clip.
Yeah, love it. The dangerous chicken clip that could result in a soft lock if you're not careful. Akaelyne doesn't care though. She is here to put on a show.
And we appreciate it.
Yeah, just a few more of these sort of conventional early game Kakariko checks, and there was one of those green 20s, so that could have.
I was about to say.
Yep,
that was probably a male upgrade or that 2nd bow at this point.
Yep, exactly. I did not catch what that was in the race game.
Nope, but Will did, and it's trash. So he goes ahead and flutes to 7. We do have Zora money already. Chat points out we got the Moon Pearl. Could see some early fake flippers, and there's our Titan's Mitts at the dam. And that's Dark World access. 12 minutes in.
Yeah, just with early Dark World access and that flute, this is a wide open seed.
Almost too wide open.
Yeah, these always. I don't love when the seed opens up this fast. Personally, it's too many choices, and you're probably making the wrong one if you're running this game.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Like, you know, you don't want something that's too linear where that funnels you in one direction, but when everything opens up so fast, like so fast, you know, sometimes it's hard to figure out what's the right move here. You know, do you still full clear all of these Sphere 1 checks in the light world? Do you go directly into the dark world and try to read the seed that way? Build the B strats in Mini Mulderm Cave. You love to see it. Ooh, and they're the boots.
Yeah, I prefer doing these early Sphere 1 checks, just like both runners are doing here for just for the sake of, you know, not forgetting anything, not risking my opponent doing them and me not doing them, that sort of thing. This is a perfect example of why continuing on your normal route, despite having so much access to the world, is good. And both of our runners are finding those boots.
And Will is bailing on Ice Rod Cave, not going to head over there or do the fake flipper. Instead, going to take those boots and that bow and head straight over into Eastern Palace. I like this play. It's a crystal dungeon. You can full clear it. Go.
Yep. The back is going to be technically out of logic without fire sources, but that will not pose a problem to either of these runners.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I like just, you know, targeting dungeons. I guess one reason to maybe put this off is the hope that maybe you find a mirror and you're able to run it in with pod. But with the flute and easy access to 5 there and the boots, it's so fast to just run up to Eastern that this is a smart play.
And looks like Akaelyne is doing the same thing. And combined with the fact that we have 3 crystals in the light world means that, there's a 3 out of 7 chance, right, that that pod is a pendant, right? In which point, trying to loop it in with Eastern is less important.
Great point. Akaelyne opting to check out Sahasrahla before heading to Eastern and pulls out a sword. So Will is going to be working his way through with just the fighter sword. Doesn't make a huge difference in Eastern. In other dungeons it would, but not so much Eastern.
And it is faster. Coming out of Saha's closet, walking out of Saha's closet is slow. And so it is faster to do Eastern first, and then Saha, as he pulls the cape out of there. It is faster to do Eastern first, especially if you have the gloves and the flute. You can flute right over to 5 and go up the quick way there. But Will get that sword before too long.
Yep. So interesting to see, despite how open the world was, despite the early Dark World access, we find ourselves in dungeon number 1 of Link to the Past here on both sides.
Yeah, really. So the only thing that is that has our good friend the evil wizard Akaelyne on life support is the possibility that the hammer and the flippers are both over here on the east side of the Dark World, which would logically require Aga to reach. But we'll see. Presumably, at least one of these guys knows the Kern jump, the way to kind of sequence break that from the North Dark World. So unclear whether we will see that or not.
Yeah, that's one of the tricks I think a lot of people learn early is getting access to East Dark World in that scenario. So I would imagine both runners would do that over going to Aga at this point.
Yeah.
So Will entering the back. This is the more difficult of the dark rooms in Eastern, but makes it look easy.
No trouble with that. Yeah, really well done. Yeah, at this point, really the only difference between our runners is that Will is up because Akaelyne did a lumberjack check, and lumberjack and Saha. So that's really the difference. Other than those couple things, and Will is going to do Saha immediately after this. Our runners are lockstep here, so we'll see whether we get some divergence as Will heads into the Armos Knights fight.
Ooh, just a little slow on that last arrow shot, but manages to clean it up, no problem. That's crystal number 1 at about 17 minutes.
Number 1 for Will, yeah, 17 minutes in. We are in business. What's the next play after Saha's Closet?
Well, let's hope he does go to Saha's Closet, because we know there's a sword there, and he is.
Yeah, it'd be pretty galaxy brain to not go there, and I mean that in the pejorative sense.
So Will pick up that second sword, and then yeah, with that flute and Dark World access, whole lot of options at this point. Excited to see what he chooses. Of course, without the hammer and the mitts, we really only have access to one of the Dark World portals. So, despite this being as wide open as it is, the hammer would open it up even a bit more.
Yeah, Will fluting to 6. Quick peek of the desert ledge, which was trash, and headed into Agina. We'll see whether he decides to go into Mire Shed as well. or if he pulls the flute out, or if he's going to save and quit out of here and head over into the Village of Outcasts area. Just 10 arrows there, and here comes the save and quit. So Meyer Shed's going to wait.
Yeah, I like getting Meyer Shed out of the way early when I find those mitts. It's just a few very, very fast checks, and it gives you a sense of which medallion you might need. We'll pop not a sank here.
Gonna knock out these boots checks here, King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks. Then presumably on his way, may do a lumberjack check at this point now with the boots. And then we'll presumably head over into the Village of Outcasts area. Akaelyne gonna flute to 8 and check Ice Rod Cave. So this is a new check. Will did not do this check on his trip through.
Yep, this and Agino, which we just saw, are examples of things that you can easily just forget or put off when the seed opens up so much early. So it's nice that we will have eyes on both and know that neither of our runners, as we find a heart in Ice Road Cave, will get hurt by important progression in either of them.
Now this is interesting. So Akaelyne is running out of Ice Rod Cave. Did not set up a water walk, interestingly enough. So it's going to be a little bit slower, presumably, yeah, setting up the fake flipper there. Not sure why she's skipping the water walk there, but maybe not 100% comfortable with it, but fake flipper's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And she'll get some access to Hobo and the checks up at the Zora area.
I feel like, generally speaking, in the races I've been watching, boots have been at such a premium that it's easy to forget about that water walk when exiting Ice Palace. I know I forget about it sometimes when I'm not playing a seed that's explicitly a boot start.
Just a big 20 on the Hobo. And we'll see if Will remembers that water walk. Interesting, Will, and he does set up the water walk there.
Yep.
So interesting that both of our runners are deciding to do these Zora checks. Now, also before heading into the Dark World, also interesting is that Will has saved and quit since fighting Armos Knights. Akaelyne has not. And that is going to hamper her ability to do a splash delete up here to get to Zora Ledge if it is necessary.
Yep. So for those of you who don't know, there's a trick happening under the hood where if you put enough junk on the screen at once, you can trick the game into putting you in a swimming state. But for whatever reason, killing the Armos Knights puts a stop to that. There are ways to fix it. One of the ways is just dropping a bunch of bombs in the water. But Akaelyne only has 6. So yeah, we will see. That's a good thing to call out as we see what is on lead, just a heart.
Akaelyne, I'm being told.
Yeah, thanks for that.
The up on Zora Ledge just appears a piece of heart and a whole lot of nothing up here in Zora's domain today. But both of our runners doing it, no harm, no foul.
Yep, it made total sense to do it then after leaving Ice Rod Cave, so it's just another thing you don't have to worry about the rest of the seed.
Will gets a red potion for his trouble from the Waterfall Fair. He had that empty bottle from using the bee in Bitty Moldorm Cave.
So yeah, just lockstep. Akaelyne also checking out King's Tomb early.
Presumably Akaelyne, I mean, I keep saying this, presumably one of these people is going to go into the Dark World eventually.
I have a hunch we'll see it.
That was a misclick from Will. All right, green pendant, swamp pendant, pod pendant, or green pendant skull, pendant, swamp pendant, pod. The other 5/6 crystal at Thieves Town.
Yeah, you called it with that pendant pod. So
Yeah, 7 chance. Well, I did not see what medallion that was on Meyer. Oh, and there's our hammer in Meyer Shed. And the fire rod. Wow. Meyer Shed with the goods today.
Yep, the makings of a very fast seed so far.
All right, Akaelyne headed towards the Hype Cave portal. Will gets a heal from Sanctuary and is headed to the CAC portal. All right, so we are going to see some divergence here. Presumably our runners will be headed in more or less the same direction. But we'll continue on. Thank you, chat, saying that Bombos was required for Meyer entry.
Yep, I was going to be curious if Will opted to do that green pendant Skull Woods, but it looks like he's heading south. And there's our lamp in Hype Cave.
A good find.
Yep. Not something most runners in this tournament really need, but I don't care how good you are at this game, the lamp is going to speed up dark runes a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You're never going to say, oh man, the lamp. Ugh. I mean, maybe you will. I don't know. I won't. Yeah, still plenty that we're missing. Still need the mirror or the hook shot to get over towards East Death Mountain. Still looking, yeah. So mirror and hook shot. I would think that that's going to be our next big progression item. Is going to be either the mirror or the hook shot.
Yep. Yep, Will making the very sensible Crystal Thieves Town play here. Makes total sense. You have the hammer.
Yep.
Got to do it.
It's 5/6 crystal even.
Yeah.
Now you wonder, Akaelyne, having pulled the hammer and the fire rod at the same time out of Meyer's Shed, decides to go through the Hype Cave portal and make her way up into the village from the south. I wonder if that is kind of telegraphing an intention to clear Skull Woods, or at least go in there. Right, you know, having come from the south, it's a little easier to kind of then swing up and do Skull Woods there at that point. So, whereas, you know, we'll see if Will might try to skip it, having gone to the CAC portal and not gone into Skull Woods right away, but instead come in here to the Village of Outcast checks.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's some routing that's opened up by early mitts that you don't necessarily get to do too often. So, yeah, Will is going to have to make a choice when he gets out of Thieves Town that Akaelyne is not going to have to make. I was so excited about our 25-minute divergence, but here we are.
Here we are. So far, nothing of note in Thieves Town.
Yeah, Will just cleaning up some of the deadliest enemies in this game in those grasshoppers.
I hate those guys. 2 hearts of damage.
Yeah, it feels like 2,000, but yes, 2 hearts.
I have died there in races multiple times, and it is embarrassing.
Yep.
All right, no small key to speak of yet. A good sign. Yeah,
even with the hammer, you don't want to see it, but No worries about
Oh, there it
potentially
is.
leaving an item. Yeah, no problem. Just a compass.
God dang it, Thieves Town. What are you doing?
Well, when you have the hammer, it's just a compass, but when you don't have the hammer, that's when your ice rod is hanging
When you
out.
have a hammer, it looks like a nail. Ooh, Akaelyne hit the God Pixel there on the Hellway. That was really good. All right, we got ourselves a blind fight.
Yep, this fight is on rails, so as long as Will is able to hit blind at the right time, it'll work out the same every time. Did take a
Priester
couple,
on there.
Yeah,
7 hits on script, I would say that.
did take a couple hits, but was able to push through, no problem.
Just a big 20, though. So Thieves Town, only thing of note is the crystal at the end.
That's okay, we need those.
That is true. That is trenchant analysis. It's very good.
Thank you. Yeah, like you said, Will has to make a choice here, and he's opting to head south. Might grab the smith even without the mirror. He can always grab our little froggy friend and take him on a world tour before saving, quitting, and turning him in. We'll see if he does that.
Yeah, I probably would if it were me. Without the mirror, you know, you could go either way, certainly. But considering that there's still, you know, there really is not all that much that is still that's available to our runners at this point. You know, there's probably the biggest thing outstanding there is Pendant Palace of Darkness, which is full clearable.
Ugh.
But that was the right, you know, which means there's probably where the progression is, to be honest.
Yeah, that's usually how this game works. But yeah, without the mirror, the hook shot, like you were saying earlier, despite having the flute, there's not a whole lot we can do up on the mountain just yet. So, yep, Will is grabbing the smith, or what will become the smith, and gonna do one of my favorite things to do in this game, which is just, yeah, show him the world, show him what's out there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, neglected to do hammer pegs on the way out of town. So is going to isolate that a little bit. It's going to have to wait until he goes back for the purple chest. The Rooster making a good point in chat. Will the fact that Thieves Town came up empty push Akaelyne to head up to Skull Woods? We shall see momentarily.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It's pretty appealing with that green pendant. So Will's about to find his lamp.
And Akaelyne is continuing to head north. We're going to get a bumper ledge check first. We do have that early cape. Will did not do this check.
Yeah, this could be something. You don't need the hook shot to make your way through this cave. Just the
OK boomerang.
Yep, I imagine we'll see both runners skip that.
Rip the OK boomerang. Akaelyne setting up for a kern jump down here.
Yeah, you called it. So this could be something important here in Pendant Pod. That's technically, well, I guess now with the hammer, it's
now
it's
the
within
hammer,
logic, but
it's within logic, but
more convergence.
Let's see what our angry, grumpy catfish has for us today. Just some bombs.
I think it's a fair trade. If you throw rocks or bushes into my house, I'll probably throw bombs back at you too.
Good point. All right, where is Akaelyne headed next?
Yeah, we know where
Potion.
we know where Will's going. Just to turn the smith in.
Is Akaelyne gonna sequence break into Ice Palace right now with that potion? Yep.
Interesting.
It's an aggressive play. I like it.
Yeah, before finding Canis Maria, which we know is required, it has to be out there somewhere with Turtle Rock being a crystal. Still opting to make this early Ice Palace play. Very interesting.
Rule of Fire. We might see Bombos in here. You need Bombos to get into Mire. You need the red. You need the. You have the Fire Rod, but you don't Bombos. If you've got one of those things and need the other, it's probably an Ice Palace.
Yep. Every time. Yeah, this is really cool. These are the types of plays that you don't necessarily see in like the big group races, like in our qualifiers just a few weeks back. But in a one-on-one race, these these sort of gambles with this early Ice Palace play could really pay off.
Yeah, gotta make sure to try to zing when your opponent zags, as it were. Just one item there out of Ice Palace, a green 20. Will, on the other hand, going to try to stay in logic, as 2 checks up here on the mountain. The old man gave us nothing. There's 2 checks up here, but one of them we can only peek at. Although, well, actually, you know what? I lied. Spike Cave in logic.
I love Spike Cave more and more. The more tournament races I watch and the more progression I see in Spike Cave, I get more and more fond of it.
Will determined to stay in logic here, with the exception of that of the Zora fake flipper play.
Yep, was hunting for a fairy under those bushes. Only got a heart. Should be just fine though with
got a full. Has a red potion as well.
Here's that classic Ice Palace bomb jump. Easy. Ooh,
there's a mushroom. Yikes. I bet Will's going to go turn that in right away, I would imagine.
Yeah, you have to with the flute. You dedicated all the time to going through Spike Cave. You got to follow that through for sure.
Unfortunately, with Master Sword and no hook shot, these Pengators can get a little bit tricky.
Yep, this is why that early Ice Palace play was a little risky. Just a heart.
Just a heart, and Will save scum that and do a hard reset to get the mushroom back to set himself up for fake powder later.
Yep, that's a heads-up play from Will.
This is the other tough part about Ice Palace without hookshot and without Canis Maria is this bomb jump right here can be tricky. It is not one that you have to do super often, but first try, nails it. This looks like maybe our Skullwoods play.
Yeah, I think you're right, especially getting that magic refill for the fire rod there. But yeah, that bomb jump is something that now with Icebreaker being something that most runners learn if they're playing competitively. Yeah, it's something that you don't see people practicing too much, as we find the mirror in Ice Palace.
Oh boy! All right, well that's good.
Yeah, there's your gamble paying off. That's huge.
Now the question is, where are the flippers? And Will find them before too long. And if Will does find them, where's the cane? When will make that choice to head into Ice Palace? Now that mirror, not necessarily required in this seed. we do have a pendant swamp palace.
Yeah, that's a good point. So not necessarily huge from a progression standpoint, but just in terms of, being able to route around more quickly, not having to death warp in dungeons if you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just generally a very helpful item.
It was also a really nicely laid out ice palace where, aside from having to do both bomb jumps, all three items happened very early, and so Akaelyne is headed right down to Cold Stare. Will headed to the back, clearing Skullwoods back to front. Gonna grab that green pendant as Akaelyne's headed into the Cold Stare fight. With Master Sword and no magic, this fight is non-trivial for sure. On 4 hearts, cannot withstand a hug from one of the eye puffs. That will kill Akaelyne in one shot. So gotta be careful with these spins.
Yeah. Did she use that blue potion?
She has not used the blue potion yet. I don't know why she hasn't, this is what you got it for. Use it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But no need. Shows what we know. Really good fight there from Akaelyne.
Yep, crystal number 3 over on Akaelyne's side. As well works his way through. Also not always a trivial fight with just Master Sword, but he made it look like it is.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Monthly was not cooperating there very well, but does get that green pendant. Still no items out of here yet.
Yep, chat asking about the key drop on Cold Stare. Yep, small key on Cold Stare means the game expects you to have Canis Maria. We know it has to be out there with Mire and Turtle being crystals, but that might give Akaelyne a sense of where the cane could be.
Yeah, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. We saw some speculation that the flippers are probably in Palace of Darkness. That seems reasonable to me to assume. And so now the question is, and now we also know because of that key layout in Ice Palace, the Canis Maria cannot be mirror locked. Will be interesting to see whether, still 2 items coming out of here in Woods. If one of those is the flippers or the hook shot, what happens then?
Yep, so Akaelyne working her way through desert. Another crystal dungeon, why not?
Yep, again, out of logic. Is flippers locked that from the mirror in Ice Palace? Unfortunately for Will, just the bug net and a piece of heart in Skull Woods, although still yet to see the payoff from that green pendant. Still could be something.
Just the bug net.
You know. Is Will happy he saw it? Probably not.
Yeah,
so yeah.
Chat's happy. But yeah, Will probably not quite as much.
Will with that peak of Bumper Ledge headed back into Village of Outcasts, setting up for a Hammer Pegs check and the purple chest here to kind of clear out the Village of Outcasts area as much as possible.
So yeah, might have been intentional to hold off on Hammer Pegs until he came back for purple chest, I suppose.
Yeah.
is opting to grab that heart. Starting to feel pretty healthy on both sides.
Yep, can't expect many more of those in hard item pool for sure. Akaelyne headed into Landmo.
Yep, gonna make use of that fire rod for this fight. Should be easy breezy. As Will turns in his purple chest.
Just 5 rupees there. That's not great. Not what Will wanted to see.
Yeah, it's even worse than the bug net.
And headed over to Saha, gonna turn in that green pendant.
Yep, this could swing the race a little bit. Akaelyne has the advantage with that mirror right now in terms of just ratting speed and stuff like that, but something's on green pendant here. Could be good for Will.
Nope.
Nope. Wow.
So progression in pod at this point, right? Yeah.
Certainly
Will's
look.
headed straight there.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
So if this is the flippers, then advantage Akaelyne for sure. If this is the hook shot, for instance, though, that might be good for Will.
Yep. Still looking for a few things. We know we need bombos at this point as well. Still looking for that ice rod. So good chance we'll find at least one of those things here in pod.
Now with that, with the mirror, Akaelyne beelines it up to a Death Mountain. Of course, everything past the Spectacle Rock is going to be out of logic because that mirror is locked by the flippers. But you know, still a lot of checks. Got a dungeon up here that you can do in Tower of Hera. So the obvious next play for Akaelyne, going to work under the assumption that the flippers were in pod and that she's not going to need them.
Yeah, this is the one danger, I guess, of finding something like the mirror out of logic early, is it could, you know, push you up for a full mountain clear when the game doesn't actually expect you to be able to get up here. But good chance we'll find something, given how many items are still floating around, unless pod is absolutely stacked.
Not so far. 50 rupees there for the first item in pod in the Stalfos basement.
No hook shot for a Hera pot, so see if we have to head into the basement here.
Well, there's a small key. I hate to see that.
Yeah, always.
And yep, we're headed to the basement. Get out your coffee cups. We're doing Hera the old-fashioned way.
So yeah, the Ice Palace play paid off a bit, but if, you know, Will can find Canis Maria before doing Ice Palace, or the hook shot before doing Hera, he could save himself a bit of time.
Yeah, he'll be able to claw some of that back. There has to be something in here, in pod. What is it going to be? I believe that we know that the vanilla big key chest is a small key. We do have an item in Harmless Hellway. Yeah, Yeah, if this is the flips and your will, not great. If this is the hook shot, might feel a little bit better.
Yep.
Of course, he doesn't know that. There's
There you
the
go.
hook shot in Dark Maze. I think if you're rooting for Will, that's what you wanted to see here. Flippers might be in here too, for that matter.
Yep.
He's gonna have to do a death warp out of here, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is where that mirror really helps.
Oh, he's not gonna. Looks like not gonna death warp. Just gonna
Walk out.
Just gonna walk out. Walk through Harmless Hellway. At that point, I don't blame him.
So yeah, will save a bit of time in Hera. Still no Canis Maria though.
Yep, and he is gonna go and kill Helmasaur at this point. He's got one pendant, you know, already, and it didn't pay off. So there's, I believe, still there's going to be an item on Helmasaur if I have counted right, so I absolutely do not begrudge him this decision. We see Akaelyne taking down Mocula. There's our Ice Rod, so I'll be looking for that.
Yeah, chat talking about PED possibilities. Ice Rod was one of them.
But Canis Maria could be on pedestal, as could any of the Bombos or Ether that we might need. Still plenty of possibilities out there for pedestal. Book, if something's on a tablet, you never know.
Oh God. But yeah, that's not a bad place for Ice Rod. Will find that, no problem.
He will.
I keep saying it, and it never feels good to say it.
It's like buffalo.
I'll just make my English worse and start saying, Will's gonna get that.
Now, Chad is saying that Bombos was in Tower of Hera. I missed that, but I believe you, Chad.
Oh, yeah. I also did not catch that.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Well, that opens up Meyer.
Still no Canis Maria. Oh, man. Kane in Meyer always sucks. That's a possibility still.
Yeah, it really does. Not quite as much as Kane on PED, but it's also not great.
Oh, I'd rather have Kane on PED 10 times out of 10, I think.
Yeah, just for the humor of it.
Just a piece of heart on Helmasaur, but we'll get pendant number 2 for Will.
So I imagine we'll see what the TR medallion is while we're up here. We've already found 2.
Yep. Paradox Cave, full of nothing for Akaelyne. He's going to bomb jump up here to the TR portal, open that. We'll be able to do Super Bunny Cave and one of the 4 checks in Hookshot Cave. If something is in Hookshot Cave, that's really good for Will.
Oh yeah, great point.
I do not know if Akaelyne can hover.
Even folks who can't hover, that's a lot of hovering.
It's a tricky one. Yeah, a lot of hovering there. But with his hookshot, Will headed straight up the mountain. Makes a lot of sense.
It is Bombos.
So we open it up. Still can't do anything in here, of course, without the cane. But we know that once we have the cane, we'll have both rods in there. We won't have to worry about that. I believe that means that we will be able to go mode TR. So nothing that we need is going to be in TR. I guess technically, if we find the cane, the flippers could be in there. I suppose.
Our runners don't need the flippers.
Well,
I mean,
if there's logically we do, right? And there still could be something in Swamp, right? Maybe the cane is in Swamp Palace or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But yeah, if we find our Cane of Samaria, then I believe we're in no mode at this point.
Yep. Super Bunny Cave not paying off. Dark Death Mountain is a bust for Akaelyne. Probably gonna run out here. Did Spiral Cave, already came at it from the top, so is gonna run over to the other side and do the Spike Cave check. So this is something that Will has already done. So we'll be giving a little bit of time back to Will. It was the mushroom, which did not lead to anything.
No, it did not.
Akaelyne, though, getting that nice fairy there before heading into Spike Cave. Will is going to be able to Harapot here, but he's going to, well, will still Harapot, but is going to get the big key here just in case something is in the big chest. This is not necessary in this seed. Those items were in the compass chest and on Moldworm, which is going to make this feel bad. But you know, he's been pretty thorough so far in this race, so it makes sense that he's going to do this.
Yeah, this is why I usually save this until after I kill Moldorm, but it looked like he set up the hook speed to do Harapot and then maybe accidentally came down the stairs, so I wonder if...
That's possible.
Yeah, I wonder if he's just doing this because, well, I came down anyway, I might as well.
Not setting up a Death Warp in here. Normally, I like to, you know, if I have to Death Warp out of here, if I don't have the mirror, I like to take a couple hits from those, from the tiles.
Yeah.
But he might just walk back out, yeah. It's not a big deal.
Yep. Akaelyne also made the heads-up play of save scumming that mushroom.
We saw a little hesitation on the load screen there. Not sure. Akaelyne's still trying to figure out where she is going to go next. The correct answer is Pod, of course, but we'll see where she goes. Going into the Hype Cave portal, I imagine that's where we're headed. Oh no, this is Pyramid Fairy first. We have now Thieves Town and Hera done. Those are our 5-6 crystals. So.
Yep. But we know with Ice Palace, Cane locked, this can't be Cane of Samaria.
That is true.
Or am I... Yeah.
Probably. We don't know for sure about IP because we didn't see where all of the keys are.
That's true.
But yeah. Actually, I guess we do know that it was Cane locked because Cold Stare had a small key. We don't know whether it was hook locked or not.
Yep, that is true. That is true. My Ice Palace key logic is, I'd say about 70% knowledge, not quite 100%.
Pretty good.
So.
Better than me.
Will grabs that ice rod.
Yeah, that's true. This Pyramid Fairy isn't locked by Cold Stare. That is true. And we get the powder here from Pyramid Fairy. And Akaelyne, rather than going to Pod, is going to save and quit.
Yeah, it might just follow that powder.
Of course, you save Scum the Mushroom, and then the very next check you do, you get the powder, naturally.
I always say this game has a sense of humor to it, and there's an example.
So I imagine this is now, with the mirror, Akaelyne, she's going to head over and do the Smith Chain, which she did not do. Earlier. 3 of the 4 checks have turned out to be nothing. We'll see about that, whether that powder is necessary for the Magic Bat check here. But he's going to give a look at Graveyard Ledge here. This could be a big important check. If something is here, that means that mirror is required.
Yep. And with both runners doing their boots checks early, this is pretty isolated for both of them. So
will the sequence break of Ice Palace pay off, giving Akaelyne this check? Will it come out? Just a piece of heart. Nope.
Yep, so we are about to see Hookshot Cave over on Will's side.
Akaelyne has clearly made the decision that she hasn't been to pot yet. She's not going. We're going to put it off as long as possible at this point. And as Rooster points out in chat, something here in the Hookshot Cave, Canis Mario would be huge in particular, but really anything here in these 3 back checks in Hookshot Cave would be really big for Will. Piece of heart. 10 arrows.
Uh-oh. And a bottle.
Unfortunately, that is a bust.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Will.
Where is this Canis Samaria? It's in Mire. It's got to be in Mire.
Yep. or we find the flippers and yeah.
And then it's in Swamp Palace.
Yep. Yeah, I think Mire is the would be my clear guess at this point.
Yeah, Will is pretty strongly, and he has headed to Mire, pretty strongly tried to stay in logic here thus far. Is going to head into Misery Mire here. If the cane is in here, that is good news for him.
Yeah, if it's just flippers, I imagine we'll see Will head over to Ice Palace before doing Swamp.
Yep.
But yeah. Yeah, definitely running out of options at this point.
Well, we said it before, caneless Mire, never a good time.
There's Shovel on, on Magic Bat.
Yeah, I heard you like fetch quests, so I put a fetch quest in your fetch quest, so you can fetch while you fetch.
Well, on the bright side, with that mirror, we'll be able to just turn it in on the way to this purple chest turn-in, which we know is nothing.
And we'll be able to knock off K45 as well.
Yeah. Yeah, if Canis Maria pops up on Akaelyne's side in the next 40 seconds or so, that's a pretty big swing.
Absolutely.
Just a heart in K45.
No Godmire, which is, in this case, you know what? Good. That's good. I don't want a Godmire here.
It always feels so bad when you're not in go mode.
Yep.
And just a heart at the dig spot. So I think yeah, Mire is our prime suspect here. It's just a question of whether it's going to be the flippers or that cane.
Yep. If it's the flippers, then Akaelyne still has a pretty strong advantage. If it is the cane, though, that brings, I think, Will right back into this race.
Yep.
But here comes Akaelyne, headed into Mire as well.
One of those green 20s in Mire.
Will wants no part of the cutscene chest yet. Oh, there it
Oh.
is. French vanilla cane. Right
All
next door to where it belongs.
So that puts us in no mode. So at this
Yes, it
point,
does.
yeah.
So now, as a matter of fact, Will is in go mode.
Yeah, that's
At
yeah,
this point.
without that required mirror. Yeah, Will does not need it.
Hell, might not even get it, to be honest.
Yep, might just speed through Ice Palace.
And Aka is, absent a Moldorm bounce. We have not seen her hover. Folks in chat confirming that she does not. Oh, that's a good point.
Chat.
No, Will is
Yep.
not in go mode. Will needs that mirror for desert still, or the book.
Yep, that's right. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see with Kana Samaria now just dramatically speeding up Ice Palace to see Will just head over in that direction. Although, yeah, to your point earlier, he's been following Logic pretty closely.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. I'd say at this point, right? If you at this point though, I would rather go sequence break IP and hope that the next thing that I need is in there, than go up and do Triple Rock. At this point, I would say. But if he does want to stay in Logic, then TR is the next play for sure. I would just rather save the mountain climb there and do the sequence break, but we'll see what he does.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Ice Palace to me is the clear play here,
But we also know that the mirror is there, so who knows? Yeah, but definitely looking like our flippers are going to be in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, Akaelyne, unfortunately, doing cutscene chest here, gonna lose a bit of time. It's been sort of the story of the race here today is Meyer with cutscene chest, Hera, although I guess Will did end up doing Hera basement, but Hera basement without being able to Hera pot over on Akaelyne's side, and classic Ice Palace over on Akaelyne's side as well. Was going to be able to just make some time in quick dungeons.
And we see Akaelyne losing a little bit more time doing cutscene chest, where Will skipped it, and Will is going to sequence break right into Ice Palace here. Hopefully, we'll find a mirror. I don't remember what chest the mirror was in. Was it in the big key chest or H chest? Okay, that might be one that he skips. We'll see if he is in. If he's treating this as if he's in go mode.
Yeah, well, he still needs access to desert, right? So,
Yep.
I don't think he skips any checks at this point, especially when the alternative is going all the way at the TR. There's Akaelyne's Candace Samaria.
Good old Quake.
There's so many ways to do this room. That's one of them.
Don't see Quake very often in rando seeds, other than just opening dungeons.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the bomb strat in that room. So Will hitting the switch. Doesn't necessarily expect to find the big key here. Playing it safe.
Yep.
Nice quick icebreaker on Will's side.
Will taking out the hammer is going to get the mirror here, and at that point, he will be in go mode. And he is in go mode at 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Yeah, so at this point, Akaelyne needs to head to pod very soon.
Very soon. That turning out to be the difference in the race. It is, of course, possible that Akaelyne can Moldorm bounce or hover. We don't know. We haven't seen it. We'll find out very shortly because I imagine Akaelyne is going to be headed up to. Akaelyne's going to be headed up to Turtle Rock here next, no matter what. But really hoping for that hook shot in there.
Yeah.
And chat is confirming that Aka is going to need that hook shot to get past Moldorm 2.
Yeah, most runners would, I would say. I certainly don't know how to do that bounce, so... and it's going to the mountain.
Yeah, absolutely the right play to go to TR at this point. You know, it's your last crystal, and in fact, we might see Aka go all the way and full clear the GT basement, looking for the hook shot as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yep, so TR is gonna just take a bit more time, much like some of these other dungeons that Akaelyne did early, relative to Will being able to go mode it. So hookshot not required for TR, it just makes it a bit faster in the torch room. Right?
Yeah.
Chat talking about whether or not it's in logic.
Will grabbing potions after Ice Palace. Smart.
Yeah. So we're just gonna quickly glow. there's your
our
flippers.
flippers. Yep. So that mirror in Ice Palace, we're finally back in logic. Ooh, you know, like we could see Aka go into, you know, like nobody would do this to go into hookless swap before pod looking for the hook shot. That seemed nobody would do that. Shut up, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in these one-on-one races though, where you're feeling behind, yeah, who knows?
But if I'm Akaelyne, I'm not feeling behind, right? Like I made a really good play finding, doing that sequence break and getting into and getting to Ice Palace and getting the mirror. If I'm Akaelyne, I feel ahead right now.
Yeah. I mean, I always feel behind, like at all times in this game,
yes.
but yeah, fair. Yeah, we can't possibly know how she's feeling. But that is the world in which I could see someone heading to swamp, is if they're just feeling like, well, my opponent, you know, probably went into pod early.
Yeah.
But I mean, before she does any of that, she is gonna full clear the Gans Tower basement. Absolutely.
Yep, and TR. So it's going to be a bit before we see that choice. Will picking up his 6th crystal at 113. will be making his way up to TR shortly.
Vanilla big key in TR. Akaelyne gonna have to full clear this. Isn't gonna skip Mimic Cave or the big chest. Will probably be able to skip both of those.
Yeah, and really the only thing she could find at this point that would be helpful at all is another sword that Will may not find.
Right.
But that doesn't save. That's not gonna save her enough time, unfortunately.
No.
So yeah, if anyone's tuning in, the story of the seed here really was just Will's decision to go to pod early, as there's that sword.
Yeah, you called that. Will is not going to get that sword, almost certainly.
No. He could find one in GT, potentially. But yeah, Will's choice to go to pod really made the difference here. Akaelyne did go to Ice Palace early, found that mirror early. But yeah, just missed that hook shot, unfortunately, in pod. And as we saw in the first half hour or so, this was otherwise like a neck and neck seed. Very little convergence. So divergence, I should say.
Yeah, really, those key decisions about going into pod versus the sequence break of Ice Palace, you know, sticking with the logic definitely helped Will out here.
Yep. So Will just going on a key hunt. He's going to have to do lava chest.
Akaelyne on laser bridge for green 20, and a laser bridge that Will be able to skip. You can see that she has a key here. Is going to pull the safety door.
Oof. Well, that's why you pull that safety door.
Yep.
No problem. Oh, has a fairy.
That's why you have a fairy in a bottle. No problem.
And
Useless
ether.
ether medallion. Now, Akaelyne's going to be our first runner into Ganon's Tower, so you know what that means.
Yes, I do. Yeah, let's. Yeah, the sensible thing, I guess, would be to just head to GT.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll confirm as soon as this Trinex kill.
Yeah, no, Akka is gonna absolutely gonna full clear Ganon's Tower looking for the hook shot. Might even climb it looking for the hook shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are 22 locations in the basement of Ganon's Tower. One of them has the big key. And get the bot started here.
No, I always forget the command. There you go. Start. That's memorable.
There we go.
Yeah, get your numbers in between 1 and 22 for your GT guessing game.
122.
You have a number you go with, Tyler?
I usually guess 10. 10 got sniped because I was started in the bot, so I picked 6. Why
Okay.
not?
As good a guess as any.
Sure.
Uh,
Oh, wow. Akka is headed to pod before going into Ganon's tower. Wow. I'm flabbergasted right now.
Yeah, there's some discussion in chat about Hookshot's logic. I thought you were right in that it could be in GT from Akaelyne's point of view, but yeah, making the choice to just head to pod. We know this is the right choice, but at this point, Will about to wrap up TR and head over to GT. Does this wait? Well, okay, so Akaelyne kicked off the GT Big Key guessing game by
but Will finish it.
yeah, Will. Exactly. It is the first runner to enter GT.
Will having a little bit of a tougher Trinex fight here with the Master Sword.
Yeah, making use of that hammer.
Okay, Haikutai putting it very clearly. Thank you for that. You need either hook or mirror to get to TR. The mirror was behind the flippers that were in TR, so then knows that the hook shot cannot be against tower.
Yeah, so heads up play from Akaelyne. But yeah, it's gonna take some shenanigans over on Will's side, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
I believe Hookshot was in the Dark Maze, if I remember correctly.
It was, yes, the top chest in the Dark Maze.
Yeah, so it's still going to be a minute or so before Akaelyne picks that up.
All right, if you haven't gotten a guess in for the guessing game, get it in here momentarily because Will is about to head into GT, and that is when we will cut off the game. Will entering Ganon's Tower at just north of 1 hour and 21 minutes.
Deciding to go left.
So number 1 on the torch is a small key. Do you think we will see a Dark Magician here from Will?
Oof. I'm not sure what his preference is. It's something you see pretty often, though.
In fact, I think I've seen it from Will in the tournament, so I think that probably he's headed there. Number 2 is a single green rupee. Number 3 is a small key. He's not killing skeletons. Number 4 is the book. Number 5 is 50 rupees, and here it is, mirroring out, headed to the right side.
Yeah, good call.
Number
There it is.
7 there in the big key. Could have been 6. I almost won.
Could have been 2 also, or 1. But it was 7. So congrats to Arusta.
Arusta, my league teammate. Go long shots. Arusta wins 19 imaginary internet points, the most important things in the world. So GG to Arusta.
Yep, don't spend them all in one place.
And congratulations to everybody who won channel points for guessing that it would be odd.
I think I consistently bet all of my points in those games, and I consistently lose all of my points in those games. So solidarity with those who did the same.
So I imagine that Will is going to check some chests in the climb, looking for a tempered sword.
Oh, I would. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, as you can see, Will already in the gauntlet. Doing pretty.
If Akaelyne goes right first.
Yep, that would save a bit of time. Yeah. Yeah, Will's not a sure thing at this point. Will's victory, that is, not a sure thing. So Will trying to conserve a bit of magic in line mode 2 here. Akaelyne unfortunately is going left.
Yeah, it's too bad for Akaelyne. Although might be setting up a Dark Magician just like Will was.
Yeah. Yeah, but at this point, that was her opportunity to make up a bit of time.
Yep.
So Will working his way through the most satisfying rooms in the game.
They're so satisfying.
One of the first things I learned when I started trying to go fast in this game, and I felt so cool.
So swag. Will's gonna be careful down to just a heart and a half.
Akaelyne shoots the chest with an arrow and pulls...
Akaelyne got it 6.
Yeah.
Come on. So rude. I think Will has a fairy.
I also believe so. I know he has the 2 blue potions as... Wow, that's a...
Magic is a really nice find for Will at this point.
Yeah.
Staring down the barrel at a Master Sword Silverless fight.
Yep. Even with those 2 blue potions, just the peace of mind of not having to cycle through them.
And Will doesn't have the powder. Did not go to Pyramid Fairy.
Yep.
Ooh, yikes.
Yeah.
An enraged Moldorm too, but handled very well.
Yep. Nicely done on Will's side. Just $20 in the old validation chest, so Will is in fact going to be taking on Ganon with the Master Sword. So yeah, Akaelyne with that better sword, gonna pick up a little bit of time as time goes on, but it's still at this point gonna take a fall, I think, over on Will's side.
We did see a fairy in the menu there. Will, how are you typing while you're also fighting Akaelyne? Ridiculous. Yes, I know there's a delay.
Yeah, a little peek behind the curtain, folks.
Just really impressed with how many hands you have. I don't know. I just have the normal 2. I can't do that. All right, Master Sword Silver. Let's fight here coming in for Will.
So I believe it takes 1 million spins to get through this Ganon fight. Is
Approximately, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
was a great cape there by Will, turning it off just in time to get hit by the trident.
That's a perfect spot in that corner. Yeah, cape strat's something we're able to make use of with that half magic that he found very, very late.
Yeah, and Akaelyne just walked right by it, but
Oof.
not nearly as big of a deal with Tempered Sword.
Nope. Yeah, very nice phase 1 and 2 for Master Sword over on Will's side.
Yeah, easily the first two phases there are by far the most dangerous phases. Phase 4 takes the longest here on Master Sword, but it is at the very least pretty much you do the same sort of thing over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, we're past the danger phase of this fight, and now we're onto the tedium.
24 spins here.
Yeah, it's not actually a million, so sorry if anyone thought it was a million.
Strap in, we're gonna be here for a while, kids. It's a wonder that any race actually finishes.
Yeah, with those blue potions, we'll be able to make use of the fire rod and not worry about running out of magic. Set up these triples.
Yeah, so far a textbook Master Sword Silverless fight.
Yeah, Akaelyne is dropping down to fight Ganon, so this was close.
Still is close.
Still is close.
You know, a fall here from Will would swing the race.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotta love a race with both runners in Ganon at the same time. This is what you watch for.
Yeah, you really do. Yeah, these runners in this tournament are at such a high caliber that I always assume that, hey, no problem, they'll wrap up these Ganon fights, no problem. But you do see it. You do see a fall here and there.
It's not easy.
No, it's
But
not easy.
Not today. As Will connects with Spin 24, and he will be your winner today. Get your GGs in chat for Will WC.
GG to Will. Going to take game 1 of this best of 3 series in Group G.
And he finishes with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 17 seconds. GG to Will. Will is going to be able to join us for an interview here, but we're going to wait for Akaelyne to finish her Ganon fight here. Is already in phase 4.
Yeah, good visualization of how much nicer it is to have that tempered sword right in front of her eyes here.
Absolutely.
Also hitting those triples, making it look easy.
And a really nice Ganon fight there from Akaelyne.
Yeah, very, very well done. So get your GGs in chat for Akaelyne as well. Only going to be a little less than a minute and a half behind. Very close race.
Ended up very close. Finishes with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 35 seconds. GG to Akaelyne. It's very late where Akaelyne is, and so she is not going to join us for an interview. But we should have a Will WC here. If you want to come on up, Will. I can pull you up. GG's to Will WC. Good job.
Yeah, I was That was a much quicker one than I'm used to from this tournament. So,
Yeah, you had some long ones in round one.
and I've already seen plenty of Agaped, Hammer and Swamp type seeds. So I was happy to get one like this one that I think was a little bit more straightforward.
Yeah, early boots, and it was wide open early. So yeah, fast, but also you had a lot of choices to make early.
Right. Yeah, and I was very glad that I got down and got that Mire Shed check in when I did, because getting that Hammer and Fire Rod right there before I even made it over to Village or anything like that definitely was a good peace of mind on having to worry about skipping things over there.
Yeah, it turned out that the race really turned on your dip into to pod, and kind of more generally your kind of dedication to staying in logic. Is that really the only sequence break that you did was aside from Zora Fake Flipper, which isn't really much of one, was as late as possible fake flippering into Ice Palace. Can you tell us about was that a deliberate choice on your part to stay within logic for the race?
It was. In particular, at that juncture, I was looking at either there being progression of some sort in pod, or I could break logic and go into Ice Palace. I mean, the worst case in that scenario was that I only find flippers in pod, and that tells me, okay, well, it's in ice. But I'm hoping to find something that opens the mountain up, either hookshot or mirror. And I'm hoping, I'd rather not do an out of logic Ice Palace without the Samaria, because then I'm doing the longest possible version of an out of logic Ice Palace. So that was the reason why I put that off there, and the reason why I went to pod instead.
Yeah, it ended up working out. We saw Akaelyne find the mirror a bit before you found the hookshot, I think. And at the time, it seemed like it could open up a bit of an advantage on her side. But ultimately, all it really did was just opened up a bunch of mirror checks that didn't really lead to a whole lot.
Right, and that certainly could have played against me if there was some further progression behind the mirror. But in this case, the only thing the mirror got me was into Desert Palace, and that was. I mean, I understand that she got a tempered sword out of Mimic Cave that I didn't bother checking, but yeah, other than that, there really wasn't much gated by the mirror there.
Right. Yeah, and by the time that tempered sword pull happened, you were we knew that you were going to be able to get through TR without needing to check it, and that Akaelyne was going to have to go hunt for the hook shot. Luckily for her, realized that the hook shot couldn't be in GT because of the way the logic was, and decided to go straight to pod to pull it out. So good job on that one. Do you have game 2 scheduled yet?
We do. We are going to be same time tomorrow.
Same time
5
tomorrow.
5 o'clock Eastern, and I believe it's 10 o'clock her time.
All right, you heard it here. We'll see if that is on Restream here. Will needs one more win to advance to the final knockout game in the group, either against Frostbite 3030 or Salty Fry. Those are your other 2 members of Group G. We'll see how their matches shake out as well. So any last words for us on the seed, Will?
Not really, no. Tyler, Arshop, thank you guys for the commentary, and Sokol for tracking tonight. Appreciate it.
Certainly my pleasure.
Yep, and thank you, Will, for going on Restream. Can be nerve-wracking, so we appreciate it.
So been getting comfortable with it this time, this tournament at least. So
definitely. Speaking of Restreams, we have, I believe, 3 more coming up in the SpeedGaming family of Twitch channels. So give a follow to all of them. At SpeedGaming 2, at 8:10 tonight, we have Hydropower versus Orange. 9:10 Eastern, we have Relkin versus Asder here on SpeedGaming. And on SpeedGaming 3 at 9:40 Eastern, we have P-Train and Imosaru. Looking forward to that one.
And you got SpeedGaming also at 9:10. You've got over on SpeedGaming 4, F. Coughlin versus In the Name of DT, which is going to be a good race as well.
Yeah, I missed that. That's great. So yeah,
Not
4.
to mention, Yeah, not to mention all the action in the Challenge Cup as well on some other channels. There's, for the next month or so, if you want to watch Rando, there's Rando going on.
Yep, I keep saying it's a great time to have a lot of time. So just subscribe to every Zelda channel there is my recommendation. There's nonstop action happening.
Absolutely. So, Airshop, it was a pleasure working with you here today.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler.
And thanks again to SoCool for tracking it for us and for SpeedGaming for setting up the restream. Enjoy the rest of the Rando here today and throughout the group stages. Thanks very much. And GG's to you, chat. We couldn't do it without you. Everybody have a pleasant evening or night or morning, wherever you are. And please take care of yourselves.